I can do that. Here, what I can do is I can grab an extra set. Oh, Susan, how are you doing?
You're on mostly red, but really whatever.
Yeah, no. Everyone.
We're worried.
You have a meeting.
Then I remembered I just saw you.
Should have worn my giant gear
It's
sweater.
got 26.
Good neighbor. Mr. Rhodes. How are you doing?
Mr. Slave.
It's you taking all our geese. Yeah, we never got to shoot one time that day. I figured it was your fault.
You're over, you're on this side.
I'm on this side.
And then they went out without me the next weekend and they got birds. They
I
cheated.
think Bachelor, they must have hit it.
Yeah,
I think we might just have the video recording, not this right now.
but we let.
Or excuse me, you know, stuff in the night.
Like right above my feet.
I would think it was the kids older, right?
It's like, all right.
We're in Louisiana Friday.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, the Adams
Yeah.
Family.
The other one's not in the basket?
90s and on down.
The other one in the basket? So we have two of those?
Yeah, I mean, all of ours.
Yeah.
We did it. So we found it pretty cool. Yeah, we're all out there.
Those guys still take on Saturdays.
I've seen some of those. I tried.
And then my wife.
Oh, it's pretty good conservation. They'll love it.
Mine said the opposite.
I just like that home one.
Make them.
I quit drinking beer.
Just for the conservation.
Seven got X month. Had a beer. Not really that hard for me to get back, but cool. February, somewhere in the middle of February, a year, I quit eating beef.
Wow.
It's been the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yes.
My mouth is watering just thinking about it.
I can't,
Really? That's, and I've had allergies on the water. I don't know.
You guys
Or
Wow.
the beer. Beef, yeah.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
It's a good spot one.
okay, so we'll give it a couple, we'll give it another minute.
Mrs. Kress said she would be here today. I just talked to her a little bit earlier today. She said she.
We said, and people said we saw Karen, right?
I haven't seen her since Monday.
I talked to her on the phone. She's supposed to be here.
She was here yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday. 'Cause
Yeah.
You guys changed your meeting dates. That's what it was. I saw her yesterday.
Maybe that's what I was thinking too. Mr. Stuckey, how are you?
Life is good, you know. You get to my age, people say it's day to day, I'm down to minute.
So.
Today feels like an early April, spring day.
There was sun, there was sunshine for the last, there was.
I need to regulate the heat for my little cave of 6
Is the city or?
8 chickens. I got them in the wood burn in the shop and I don't want to get the shop too hot. So even after.
I know what.
I'm gonna get on the video tomorrow.
They tried, Angola tried poaching me from.
What's the heat today?
I put a stop to
Just
that.
Rhode Island Reds.
Oh, did they? Because they
Well,
need BTJ. I think they.
They always seem to slip a rooster in there though.
We might have gotten him.
Well, somebody
could. They said, what about Cole Ryan? I said, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's somebody from the city who did the electric meter.
Probably, yeah, probably Scott.
Yeah, because that's what, that's what they, everything he was seeing said county,
And they missed.
but then you looked at the meter and it's
Well,
like,
they
oh
did
yeah,
that
it's city meter
It's
inspection.
genetically engineered for cattle too. They would always try to go for a heifer instead of a bull. But,
Yeah, no, they asked me, and I'm like, I'm on the planning commission, I don't even know what I fall into.
In the county.
John, 3 years ago, I was over
Incorporated
here
here
to
Subject here, extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city.
buying a nice bull calf.
Not like going into the middle of the road,
You
you
bull calf for $100.
You live in the middle.
My understanding is fair was down this year for being too.
Well, I'm not in any big hurry, but should we start?
You said.
Do we have a forum?
Yeah, you got four.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call a meeting in order, 5:02 PM.
There she is. My only concern was everybody that got in office was had to vote for themselves, and now we're cool.
454.
Oh, that's fine. We knew that. She was told too, so she.
Yeah, we're recording. Okay, welcome everybody. So we had the call to order. Can we do our roll call?
Austin Boudreaux.
Present.
Karen DeForest.
Here.
Jake Bryant. Here. Colt Ridenhour. Here. Tim Slayball.
Here.
Jeff Rose.
Here.
Get you all.
We have a quorum. Okay, first on the agenda is the reading and approval of the minutes from the November meeting. I apologize, I did not have a chance to review them, so I can entertain a motion, but if,
Motion to approve as presented.
okay,
I'll second that.
been moved, seconded, any discussion on the approval of the minutes from the November meeting? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's approved. Nice
You
work,
vote
everybody.
or abstain or did I hear any?
No, it just passed.
Okay.
We have to, we don't have on the agenda the, you got election at the end.
New business. Okay, and normally we'd go through, again, I would have had to go through the preamble and all the slides and things like that, because we don't have any public business, so we'll just kind of run down through everything here. First reports, chairman's report. Again, so we've got a few things that are in front of us that, that we want to get through today. I'm not gonna, I'll leave it till the agenda item for that. I guess as we prepare for the officers selection and voting and things like that, I'll just, as part of my report, I mean, I've enjoyed, I think we've accomplished some great things. But I'm certainly open if somebody else would like to take the leadership role with the gavel for this. I'm happy to help out, but I'm also okay, passing it along. The staff and the other presiding officers have been wonderful. Like I said, we've gotten a lot accomplished, and I feel, good about it. So I wouldn't leave feeling that we didn't accomplish things, but I'd also, if somebody wants to take a chance at it, I'm also, like I said, willing to help out. Any questions for me?
You're doing a great job, Jeff, and in my opinion, you got great leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, we'll move on. City County Liaison Report. Do you have anything?
Nothing to report. I don't believe that there was a meeting in December.
I don't know off the top of my head, but
I would have sent you something
Yeah.
we did. Well, I don't know if there was anything.
Okay. Any questions? The question I've had, so do we have somebody from the city that is going to be attending?
They called and asked if Jeff was okay, and I said,
Okay.
I think we all like Jeff a lot, but I think he's on vacation or something this time. 'Cause yeah, Retha called me. Good stuff.
You know what? There was a meeting and there was one thing that they voted on. It had nothing, it was not ETJ or anything. And it, as we talked about before, just mentioned, that ETJ is still front of mind for us. So
Good.
Can't recall off the top of my head exactly what the vote was on, but it was something that easily passed, I remember. Very
Yeah. Nothing controversial. There's been nothing in the newspaper about it, so.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for City Council Liaison Report? We'll move on to Drainage Board. Do we have anything to report from?
Right now, things are pretty settled down, pretty good. We dismissed our December 22nd meeting and just had our first meeting Tuesday. Other than, things are pretty quiet, other than we're still trying to remedy some of the damage that was done by the new pipeline coming out south of Pleasant Lake. Pocock Farms, they're one that is suffering from that, so we're working through NIPSCO and trying to get that remedied. So,
How are they suffering? Maybe just.
well, when the gas line went through, it damaged a tile. And, just going back and forth on that, and
That's not supposed to happen.
It's not supposed to, but
it's not supposed to, but it did.
did.
So I don't know how much I want to say. Our attorney's here. I don't know how much I want to say. No, I'm just kind of frustrated.
No, I would see that would.
Present.
Gotcha.
So you say a tile, like, is it like
Fuel
tile kind of thing?
That's correct. The one underneath the road, yeah. There's a major difference when our local REMC goes through. They're great to work with.
So does that, Was it discovered at the time of the boring or not until stuff started backing up?
Well, unfortunately, yeah, you can't always discover, the proper way to do is they're supposed to dig down, find the tile, use a dirt bag truck, you know, where it sucks the vacuum out. They're supposed to clarify where the tile is and then stay underneath that. And just some of the steps weren't properly taken to do that, so.
I think it was discovered, I think it was discovered when the pivots went underneath the pond.
Yeah, and it was, we went from a field that was drained good to when you have your irrigation underwater all the way up to the electric motors
Yeah.
of the pivot, and we know there's an issue.
So, okay, that was just what I was. How'd they get that up to it or? It was pretty impressive this spring.
Unfortunately, not for them, but again.
No.
They've been working with this and. As a farm background, I know that that's very critical and, not a good thing.
So anytime you hear of, broken tile or, backed up drain, there's gonna be people upset, so. Okay, thanks for that info. Any questions for Jim on drainage board? Okay, we'll move on to plat committee. I'll just start out there that I haven't been able to attend the last couple, so, but we did, businesses plug along. I was up signing, completed maps today, so that's a good thing. Any other updates or anything?
They were just easy plats. They weren't like they were very complicated. It was just breaking off for a loan or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I wasn't here one time either, and Greg
Okay.
served as a proxy for me.
And I think
And
that's
again, pretty straightforward stuff.
good. No, and I like that Greg can, kind of serve as proxy in that role.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's ever a need, for somebody to serve, in mind if you can't get a quorum, but yeah, I think it's effective, and as long as we're not backing up so that
Yeah.
it hinders the business you guys are doing.
So far, it's been pretty smooth, I think, as far as getting a hold of you guys. You've been easy to work with, finding a day and working with each other to find a date that works. It's worked along pretty well.
I don't think it's led to any complaints about taking too long or anything, trying to get everybody together, so.
No, because you're right. I mean, we've heard those in the past.
We get a pretty quick response. I mean, we're on it now. Like, usually it's a few days you guys are meeting. It's been pretty easy.
Yeah, good.
We already actually have 2 ready to meet for next week.
Yeah.
So we just met last week.
Charlie told me that when I was
Oh my
listening
God.
today, so, which is good. So if we can work that into the schedules that we've got, that's wonderful.
Are you seeing that more? Is it people splitting up?
Splitting property. I mean, I think the building, I'm not gonna say the planning side, which is what we're here for, but our building department side has finally gotten into fall/winter mode. But the splits are still coming. So the inspections might be down a little bit, a little tick, because they're, now everything's inside under roof. They'll start pulling permits to get back on in the spring for having us do the outside stuff again. But even though the winter hit like in a minute with no notice, we really didn't slow down, but we are now. So it's a month late, maybe a month and a half late, but yeah, the splits are still keeping up.
And are people predicting warm-ups so that it's gonna, kind of ramp back up?
I have no idea.
I need winter.
And spring.
Yeah, let you know.
I just bought some new snowshoes. I wore them once.
There you go.
So Clint, with that, is it mostly like as properties are being sold that multiple people are buying and then they're splitting them up? Like,
A lot of it's farm driven where they're tearing off the residents from the farmland. We see a lot of that. We see a lot of 2-3 lot subdivisions where people have bought the land and then want to profit off of them. We've seen a lot of splits for the kids. That's been
Yeah.
a little while. That seems to be the common theme there
And
for quite a
a
while.
weird trend we've gotten 2 or 3 of this year. We've gotten like the nature preserves, like a wetland preservation kind of thing, that they donate a chunk of the property and they just cut out all of the wetlands or something like that.
Yep.
They got their tax bill.
That was this last one.
So what
Was all
they're
the
saying
wetlands.
is that typically the 3 plus a remainder or less split. So they're usually what they see is ready to be built upon pretty quick. It's not the big rural estate where they're putting it in a real plat like would come in front of this board. It's the 2 or 3s and they build a house on it right away.
Yep. Yeah, so we, it's keeping kind of a loose tick mark on, the ones that are splits are just that, so.
Yeah.
Good.
And tell me again, what is the minimum acreage for split of the country?
It just depends. Our rules say 1 acre, but you're not getting one less than 2 because of the septic. Well, that rule might have changed. So
State statute, I think, made it to where they couldn't.
so
I
there
think
might be an acre again.
locally, we used to say 2 acres, but that might have been before my time too. But I think state statute might have changed to where it's just limited to whatever our requirements are, which for ag would be an acre for a new lot.
And still, that's a nice, it's a nice chunk of land, you know.
It's usually built, I mean, in theory, it should be buildable and have a spot for a septic
Absolutely.
and a second septic is
Yeah.
what the rule used to be. So
Yeah.
in theory, an acre should still hold that.
Absolutely.
You can really get 2 seconds on 1 acre.
Well, you don't put two, there's like a place and then a backup,
just in case.
just in case.
I was just thinking about, we're on 2.5.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like, it already feels like it takes up a lot of room.
Okay, good. Any other questions about plat committee? And again, if there's anybody, interested, so after elections today, then there'll be new board appointments. So if anybody's interested, in serving on that or, participating with the plat committee, that'll be one that we'll make, some recommendations towards, but something to think about if you're interested in that. Again, it is, in my mind, it's the tip of the spear. When there's gonna be something new happening in the county, we get to see that first in that committee. So very interesting. But again, I think the reporting is good. So, we're not hiding anything and again, the lag isn't happening, which I think is great. So I mean, it's pretty much up to the minute. Nobody's complaining that I didn't know that was happening. Okay. What about BZA?
Well, we have one that's coming back that it has a lot of variances. And then we have 2 other ones on the docket that have 2 variants themselves, 1 each. Or no, 2 each.
Are variances the ones that you have to show a hardship for?
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
When are you gonna hear those?
That would be January 12th.
In this room, 7
At 7,
o'clock.
yeah.
Are they labor related?
Yes. Well,
I got a notice for proximity on one.
Yes.
Is that?
I know which one. Yours is the one on 300 for the sign.
It's pretty
Yeah.
vague, the letter that I
Yeah,
got.
it's that,
Yeah, that one was-
your tree sign that's in the
I
middle of the
assumed
field.
I saw the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
that was the only different one that was for the sign.
Yeah.
That was the
Out of
the
just
curious,
weird
do you guys
one that
take
wasn't normal
Do you take input on?
public input, yeah.
Yes, public
Wait,
input.
just,
at the meeting.
Yeah.
and you can always, if you can't attend the meeting, shoot me an email and then we'll give it to Doug, the president, and he reads off anybody.
Sure.
For or against.
I was curious, it's not.
Yeah.
And so,
They let me speak when there was one on my line. I came.
You're a heavy hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I just didn't want any more water to come down that hill. You know where our place
I
is.
know, yeah.
Oh, there's, yeah.
so help me out, you said the sign, is that like a nuisance type of thing that somebody might complain about, or?
It's a
It's-
violation.
It's a violation.
Yeah, it just says illegally non-conforming sign. So,
I said, I have a question. Yes, maybe the public meeting is the best place for it, but on 827, when you're coming in,
He's gonna.
somebody put that sign, they're advertising.
It's
On
in,
there.
it's technically in the ETJ, which that's usually weird as cold. What makes it weirder is ETJ is Angola's for plan. I am working with Bob. First, the real answer is I'm working with Rita. We're gonna see what we can do. ETJ is Angola's for planning, even though it's unincorporated county.
I remember all the ETJ.
The weird part is roads, gym stuff, ditches, all that stuff, even if it falls in the ETJ, it still counts. So you got it on a county road in Angola jurisdiction, that's a sign that would require zoning for
That's not a
regulations.
state road.
Well, yeah, but it's in there.
So even though it's a state road, it still comes back to Jim.
No, Jim would be for drainage if there's any kind of stuff alongside there. Now,
So,
we'll come back to Jim. It'll come
Christina,
back
I'll
to
give you
Angola.
an example. I help out the building department too. Just the small yard signs that we would put out for our candidates, the small ones. A lot of people put those out and they're not supposed to. So they're all taken away. You can see on the west side of 100 or 200, but on the east side of 200, we can't touch those because that's ETJ and they say you can put your yard signs in. So
Yeah, I have a feeling that roundabout's gonna be covered in sign,
yeah,
because that's.
on the one side, just the
Yeah.
on the west
They're all the way
side.
to 69 on that road.
Oh, they are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
The one that's
Coming in on
going.
200.
It's already.
No, no.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a
No, we are working on that sign. It's just kind of a head scratcher. I would like to just go out and push it over, but I don't want to get in trouble. So we're gonna do it legally.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I just found it interesting, and my husband asked me, and I was like,
Well, I think it's great if the contractors put it in their yard as they're working at that property, but just to go and put them up everywhere is just really, it's an eyesore.
Yes.
Well,
Landed
And
damage.
then when the county guy goes in with his John Deere tractor and mows everything, he's not gonna get out and pick up every sign. So he goes through and mows through it, and we got confetti going everywhere, and it looks red.
no, I knew that I had forwarded,
Yeah.
are we gonna talk about that, about the other signs, about a time frame?
Yeah, and we talked about that, kind of assigning, just to talk about Christina's message about signs.
I've
how we
had
might
so
update some of the
many
ordinance.
questions about the fact that
Oh,
little
yeah,
signs
like
are
the
already up.
Yeah, did
Very-
you give them a copy of what we came up with?
Not the flyer, no.
Oh, give them, yeah.
Yeah, I can send you guys.
Yeah, we already had something weeks ago, flyer that goes out. The problem is Andy wanted us to
Incorporate it
incorporate
into
the ordinance, but we can't do it till March. But
Or February.
February.
Because
We
we,
review them. There's a lot of case law about it, suggests you can't regulate. but
Right.
it's fine.
Right.
yeah, basically, if you have to read it, you can't regulate it. If you gotta read what it says in order to make your determination if it's illegal or illegal, you can't regulate. It's a church case out of what, like New York or something like that? A church case where the church was having like a fish fry or something like that. And they weren't allowed to advertise those kind of events, so they pulled the sign, and the judge said, no, you can't read the sign to determine if it's legal or not. So you can't, you just have to make sure it's on premise, off premise, too big, too small, setbacks, all that kind of stuff. You can
The
regulate.
printing on the sign was it?
You cannot use the printing on the sign to determine if it's a violation. First Amendment, yeah, that was the big court case on signs. But when they're in the right of way, who cares, we just pull. Now, the one thing we do allow for is realtors, we give kind of a Tuesday to Thursday kind of thing, they can pull their directional signs on Wednesdays because of open houses and it's their job and. but, Yeah, those ones like Jim was talking about, we yanked, we had Christina's Jeeps full of right now on a
Yeah.
ladder.
As it always full.
And some of them get creative, they get step ladders that go way up, you gotta take a pole and knock them down.
for me, from the Jeep, standing on a guardrail with a crowbar from when I was code enforcement, where Clint took a picture because I couldn't reach it.
You're standing on a guardrail trying to hook it down.
That's not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Don't
know.
do that.
That's
It's
why
pretty
you
funny.
see
I
as a
think I'm
ladder.
gonna tell you that no county employee should be on top of a car.
No, no, not a
Guardrail, not the car.
You should be on top of a guardrail.
Yeah.
I love Christina.
Yes.
You started doing
I don't think,
I love Christina a lot. So now code enforcement, when Charlie was there, we couldn't afford a ladder.
Yeah,
Christina does have a ladder.
things are looking up.
okay, I'm sorry, I derailed that.
I think that's, again, I like when we address issues that way that can, then either be brought up to, for an ordinance, justification or rewrite. Or if there's a policy that's in place that we can share that and close the issue. I think that's great.
So when the flyer Charlie's talking about was just with campaign signs at this point, and we'll get it to Don.
Yeah, we'll get it over to you.
I kind of thought we gave it to you tonight anyway, my bad.
Are we going to start doing fines for the ones that keep on doing it after she sends the letter to the realtor and fine them for doing all these signs that she keeps on having to pick up, or?
Yeah, we're working on ordinances with teeth.
Okay.
Like right now, our
I just
fines,
wanted to make sure.
and that was a question I'll have for Don, I want to ask you tonight, but our fines are capped as well, because what our ordinance says, so I'm gonna see, I can uncap those too, so yeah, maybe give teeth.
Has anyone, or could we even reach out to community corrections on the road crew to help pick up those signs too?
If they're out there doing that stuff
That's a
anyway,
great idea.
anything in the right of ways, fair game.
And then you can always bring them back to community corrections and people can pick them up.
No, well, this dumpster out here is always
That's what they do,
open.
yeah.
That's where I throw all my, all out too.
You throw them in there or you put them on the side so people can pick them up or?
They're allowed to come get them and pick them up, like as long as they're in the Jeep, we're not gonna keep them weeks and months. Usually the realtor, we pull their signs and call them and say, hey, we got your sign up here, they just go.
Not as easy to work with the state, it's vanishes. They have got really intense about 827. That's why I'm surprised they don't say something about that sign. They got really intense about our neighborhood and political signs on 827.
Rita and I talked, I think it was the time we went to
Political
lunch.
signs are covered for a certain time.
Oh, they
Really?
removed and removed along the vineyards.
And you thought it was your opponent?
No. And it wasn't even the year that I was running,
Sure.
but Lisa Aldridge lives in my neighborhood
Gotcha.
too, and she owns and the few gates live right there, and they
Sure.
always support all those.
Yeah.
No, they told him it had to be behind his tree line. You ever been out there on the vineyards?
No, so I do know on 827 for sure it is the right of way is 50 foot from the center line and 25 foot from the shoulder. I
Yeah, they
know
were
that
out
for
there with
sure.
measuring tapes and it was a whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And who from the state? I mean, just like.
It was highway. It was highway.
So anyway, that pamphlet is actually done, and I talked to you like, what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks, it was done.
But yeah, it
last-
was a while ago.
I think it was like 2 days after I talked to
Then
you.
the holiday happened. You responded quickly when the holiday happened, so I was allowed to. So I was just curious.
Speakboard signs have that full. That's good.
That is good.
Okay, no, again, good discussion, and I like that we can bring issues, or things that we see, and again, it can turn into an ordinance rewrite or edit, or, simple, there's an action that closes it right there, so good job. But we didn't put it on the agenda before we get into unfinished business, but, did we want to get an update from Don? Do we have an update, from the third basin stuff?
It's up on appeal. Once it goes up, my experience has been 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
And this is an interlocutory, it may get resolved quicker, but
That's not that.
I would say it surprised me if it gets done before 6 months.
It just, I thought about that on my way over today, just saying, do we need to have an update on that? But that's a great update. So we'll just, let's put it into our tickler file. So if we need to ask for an update, have we been getting any inquiries or anything from you?
I have not.
No, I'm not. I just, like I said,
She's for me.
You can stay out there if you want.
my friend David Wolf, he was asking if we had an update. So
I know I'm getting them.
That's 6 months from when?
We get lost, right?
I don't know, about 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really,
I think it's time, he's the expert, but I think that timeline's a bit ambitious.
really.
Everything I do,
I
I think
said
is way
it's
longer.
an interlocutory appeal as opposed to a final appeal. I mean, theoretically, they could say this, it's not a proper interlocutory appeal and send it back. So that's why I'm fairly optimistic about timeline.
Anything legal takes forever.
So I appreciate that. Thanks, Don. Okay, we'll get into unfinished business. So we've got extraterritorial jurisdiction, ETJ, or the interlocal agreement. And we've got a document that's in front of us again. Clint, you want to cover that with us? What's?
All I'm gonna say is we tried to get it to 1 page and it didn't work.
There's no way. I was just gonna say that. I'm so happy it's longer than 2 pages.
Haven't had any official word on it, but I have been talking to Rita and others, and we did have some emails and texts go back and forth. As of yet, it's still too long, and they don't want, they don't seem willing in writing. So I don't know. This is basically boilerplate legalese. I think Brandon did this like when November 5th,
Yeah.
something like that.
Before he left.
So yeah, they've had it for a while up at the city. They've seen it. And Rita seems cool with everything. It's just, and they're doing everything that's already in here. It's just, they don't want it writing. I don't.
Well, we kind of had a mechanical breakdown that we were gonna look at it internally, and then you were gonna, kind of bring it to her, and it got widely distributed.
Widely distributed.
So
yes.
we got a lot of feedback at that point, or, maybe not a lot of feedback, but just another stop sign, right?
Yes.
So I have a question and I apologize for my ignorance. Is this just the mayor who gets the yes or the no, and it has nothing to do with their city council?
I think so, yes. Or maybe they vote on it. and sign.
Because it's the,
That's for common council.
Wouldn't be the board of works, approving their contract.
I don't know, I was just curious how it worked. Oh, their names are all on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It was on the back, I apologize.
yeah, between the two legislative bodies, but again, besides it being too long, we really don't know what the objection is. So,
We've never really got what the objection, because they're doing the work and it's awesome. And I've been working with Rita and there's been no conflicts or nastiness or anything about it. It's been a wonderful working relationship. It's just trying to get something in writing.
well, and like I said, we can operate that way, but then what happens when we go away? That's how it got brought up again, is that,
Yeah.
well, what are we doing? And, the questions got asked again.
And as somebody who lives in the ETJ, it's extremely confusing.
Okay, again, the elected officials, that's what you're gonna hear about, right?
Yes, oh, when what happened out there across from Tony with the batch plant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good heavens, my phone rang like crazy. And I was like, it's not something we get that was the first time I'd ever heard about the ETJ. Just to know, one of your commissioners is not correct.
Ken Sheldon on there. Charlie, I told you 1,000 times, get Ken's name off there.
Good, nice thought. Our thoughts are all with Ken, so I'll just do a little sidebar there.
Rick site.
Yeah, should be. But again, this is one of those things that, I got on the board because of this, and then served as the liaison between the city and the county because of this. And the number of times that we've been, told no or literally kicking the shit because we want to outline this. And I do, I think it's because people have questions and the development, people that, they can ignore it, I guess do, but I think a lot of, constituents, residents, that they're like, wait, what's happening there? And you're right, the personal experience with, with Tony, but the adjacent property there, it's the same thing, there's lots of questions. So, again, I'll take a recommendation, that we can, record for, Clinton staff. Do we want to keep it on the agenda and let, Clint and the team continue to work with Retha, if it comes up? I don't know, that just seems too loosey to me.
Let's probably wait like next month and see when Andy comes back, what his ideas. I don't know if he's been talking to Dave or what. Andy's out the State House tonight, I believe he got called out or something.
Again, did we connect what he was working on? What Andy was, doing kind of, as opposed to what you were doing with Rita, have we connected that or is that still disconnected?
We're all on the same page and we know what it is, but we haven't gone back to a big sit down meeting or anything yet.
Well, and I don't think it needs a big sit down meeting.
Those don't go.
Again, yeah, we walk out of there with fewer answers and more frustrated. So, again,
All I can say is I remember when we put it probably a year and a half ago, when we stated that we were gonna have Brandon sit down with their attorney. And Andy has been working on this for at least a year.
I was gonna say, this has been going on since I was appointed to the board last year.
So, it has to stop. It has to be dealt with. We can't just keep on kicking it down the road.
Is there
can
anything we
we?
can do without them or are we
No,
beholden to
there's
it?
much to do without it. The agreement obviously requires both entities to sign. But at some point, accept the fact they're saying no.
Yeah.
Right, but so.
But no one with no reason, that's.
I'm gonna see if I can read that. I thought there was the possibility of putting their ETJ at risk of being able to change it.
Yeah.
Being able to
I
cancel
think
it.
the commissioners under
County
what, 36
commissioners.
floor.
Right, I know not us. I knew not us, but I thought it was.
No, that was our play, like probably a year ago. It's like,
I think
okay,
it
well,
was my second
we can be tough and just.
And I
say-
think the last time Andy gave us a report here on that, you talked to Dave and that was part of it. They might give us part of it back. Is what they were.
Yes.
Because there was stuff they
Yes.
weren't gonna
Yeah,
project to be
yes.
drilled, but
Mayor Martin talked to me about Fox Lake area, giving that back, that they would never go.
we do a
all the
lot
way.
of that. We do a lot of that out there anyway. We don't have any teeth for like the big ugly violation out there right now, but it's something where if we did, we'd go after that one first, probably.
Sorry, I don't go out that side of town very often.
No, and again, that's, that's the political leverage, right? That you hate to have to do, but, why keep kicking this down the road?
This discussion's gone on for 25 years.
Okay, so that's.
I think in 25 years, we should be able to come to some kind of agreement.
Well, that's where this came from, it's 20 years ago, right?
I know, but, Don saying that 25 years,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we need to be a little bit firmer and say, what don't you like? And you need to be specific about it. I don't know.
That changes.
Yeah.
That changes from time to time. What they
Okay.
don't like.
Well, I don't know.
The most direct one I saw was from Amanda Cope. Did everybody receive and see that response?
Yes.
So I don't know the validity of it, but it was very specific on what she was making notes on.
That's the thing there. We don't know the validity of that either, because even when I talk to Rita, it doesn't seem like Amanda comes up in the conversation.
Yeah.
No, but it's Kim.
Yeah.
And the mayor. It just, that's where it seems to stop each time. So, yeah, and I guess that was where we said that somebody got it and they sent it to Amanda, and then Amanda responded to us. But I see a complete disconnect in the discussion. I don't think Andy's had Amanda in any of the discussions.
Right.
My point being that there was some specific concerns from their side of the table. And again, I don't know the validity or how accurate it is of what she says, but at least it's something that you can. Okay.
A starting point.
Because didn't I respond to that and just said, are you covering that with Rita? Again, yeah, Amanda
It
made
wasn't responded to publicly. I've got the link, the chain, and
Yeah.
you may have responded, but not to everybody.
I don't put stuff in writing like that.
I may have been dreaming when I responded, that I was like, going, yeah, so this seemed to be disconnected from the progress you've made with Rita. So I was gonna say, yeah, if you could take Amanda's note to Rita and say, I mean, is this real? Is this really what we're trying to accomplish? And then again, that's what Brandon was gonna try to step into that before and say, okay, if you've got some objections, then tell us what they are and we'll work with this.
Well, I can definitely approach Rita with the Amanda email. And
Yeah.
Brandon's gone, but the new guy's supposed to get back with soon.
Should be.
We're waiting on some paper updates and some stuff, so we should meet the new guy pretty soon, and I'll mention him as well, what we're planning there.
No, and like I said, this is where we want to start. I mean, so our attorney shouldn't have to be involved until we get something back from the city, right?
So it should.
Yeah.
Then he looks it over, make sure we can sign it, we're good to go.
Okay, and again, I would just like to see what they'd see stripped out of this. And that's, Amanda doesn't represent that.
Again, I understand, it's just the first time that I've actually seen anything with
What Austin's talking
like
about.
2 or 3 points that spell out, here's what's wrong with that document.
I don't really know how
What
to
I
organize that.
Yeah.
That's
That's
Amanda.
weird who does that.
Say it.
Amanda may be lead, and I'm talking to Rita all these years, but I think Rita's the point of contact that I should be talking to.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not involved in that part of it.
interesting. So again, I just, this is something that it would benefit the county, and I think the commissioners have agreed that it would benefit them to have it done. So let's just keep pushing as we can. Okay? Any other questions about ETJ and the agreement draft?
Right now, my LEA is on request from you, Jeff, is been just to keep it front of mind. Do you want me to be a little more proactive?
Pointed? I mean, yeah, because we've kind of sat back and just said, just keep it on the forefront and let's get it happen. It's up to the board. I mean, I've got a pretty strong.
I can verbalize a little more, tactfully or verbalize that we would like to get this wrapped up.
Yeah.
I can do that.
It's set it to a red pen and again, yeah, Amanda's.
And it's
There,
not gonna
but-
be a page.
No, probably
Yeah,
not.
it just can't be a page. But again, if it's Amanda, Rita, and the mayor and Kim Chu, then okay, sit down. We've had those meetings amongst ourselves and our attorneys. We came up with this, sent it to them, and they've never done that same activity. So yeah, I mean, however you want to word that, Alice, I think that's.
And I think I would bring up Don's point that it has been 25 years and that it's,
I think
Yeah,
local
quite a few.
government has come a long ways in the last 25 years.
I can
you've missed that.
do that.
And like I said, if they think it's survived this way for 25 years and they don't want to do anything else, again, it's only a problem when we start getting, callbacks and issues because people can't figure out how to navigate it.
Mhm.
And I just think that's not good governance. Okay. So yes, Austin, I would appreciate that, or the board, on behalf of the board, we would appreciate that. Okay?
Copy.
Floodplain and stormwater ordinance drafts. So and we've got the memo from Doug. Tell us a little bit about that.
The way I read it, we're just not quite there. It did go to the feds. They kicked some stuff back out of it that we tried to exclude ourselves from, and now it's back in front of this board. So now I would say at this point, we do what we do to it, determine what kind of fight we want to get into. But if the stuff in the ordinance that we give you updated copies of is okay, and we tweak that, and we can tweak it and send it back. That's all we can really do. We're dealing with the state and the feds at the same time on this one.
That's fun for you.
Yeah, so just to recap, then that's what we had been, so after we had the meeting, with Rod and Matt. Is that his name?
Matt saying.
Yeah, so when we met with them, we were we had basically said we were waiting for this response, right? So this is that response. They've outlined again. Has Rod taken a look at, is Rod on this?
Rod wasn't, but we did get it over to him.
Okay,
And we've been doing a lot, Ron, a lot. We had a couple meetings coming up with him, so we've been talking about a lot lately.
okay, so is it justifiable or does it make sense to have him, or was he involved with this in the background?
If he was, I don't know. I don't think so. I think he went off to Washington or wherever their field office is.
But he kind of wanted to understand why they were taking so long as well, right?
Yes.
And he was kind of pointed towards Doug.
And when we told Rod that we hadn't heard back from Doug yet, I think it was the next day we heard back from Doug.
Yeah, no, again,
Something to do with it. I don't know what.
I like when people could, make moves like that, because we had said, and he was very surprised, I can't believe that. It's like, well, no, it's kind of been the way the communication's always run, as those of us that serve, in this, kind of adjunct capacity. So, so do we have a recommendation that, what do you think, Clint? I mean, just to, do we have an action that we need to take on a board with this, even if
I
it's
would
just?
think so, yeah. I think if you want to tweak, if you like it the way it is, like everything else is that you want back in there is ridiculous, then the action is, we go to battle. I think at some point we call the commissioners in because all those letters are going to Will Howard as the president of the board. I don't think we technically have to by law, but I surely would want to make sure this county's all on the same page before we go to battle with the state and the feds. I don't want any loose cannons out there. Probably, maybe a much bigger strategy meeting where you set up a subcommittee of this, we grab a commission, well, Andy would be on this, find out what they, get some direction kind of thing. If anybody's gonna have any real trouble, Somali daycare style, it's gonna be the elected officials in the office. So I really want their input before we do something like this.
Yeah, no, okay, so should we table this? And everybody read and then next month come back, with either markup or how we feel about it?
That's the way I would
Okay,
do it,
yeah, no, I mean, or do we need to pull our subcommittee back together?
Probably not yet. See what the board wants to do by next month and then.
Okay. Okay, so let me make the recommendation to the board, no action, but just to review. And, if you understand it, we can take action. If you have questions, we'll entertain those before an approval takes place. And then at that point, Austin, Karen, myself, Jim's been involved, we can, answer any questions before, as part of that discussion and then approval for action.
And I want to say for probably the 100th time, I don't know if it's been on the record, I appreciate this board in this instance because what we're dealing with here is not easy. It's not fun. And we kind of feel like we're always in trouble. But you all have been amazing. The commissioners we've dealt with individually on this have been amazing. And actually Rod, especially after that one meeting we had recently, he's been pretty cool and in our corner. So it's going well, but that whole, we all know.
Yeah.
It's unlikely that anything bad's gonna come of it, but the second we're out, a tornado hits Kidney's Landing, there are risks involved.
And I think we understand that. I mean, and again, we mentioned this, and this was probably in the October meeting, where we did, that was a major milestone that Rod agreed with us and, the level of communication that we've had that kind of, got past where he'd never been before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're still we're in the right lane. We're doing this the right way. We've asked and we've met every single time that they, but I agree with you. They always come back to us like, we're doing something wrong. And we propose how we want to deal with it. And they say, well, we don't think you can do that. And we say, tell us why. And they can't tell us why.
They go quiet.
So
Like 6-7 months, and then they come back and then they give you the same list that you had before and say, this is what you did wrong. And we go, why?
well, and that's again that's
And then they go quiet. And then, we've been doing this for what, since 2020?
Right, these 4 points, that's exactly what that is again, okay, so.
I don't remember when that initial tab was. It seems like it was 100 years ago, but 2020
Yeah,
might be right.
I think it was like right when COVID was done, because we all said, it's,
And the big piece of this is pointing together, you're right? 11-1 stuff.
oh, 22, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
well, I was close.
But that's got the packet with all the pictures and all that stuff, and we were like, which we were encouraged. But then, we responded, and I agree, this board has been wonderful, and we've been diligent, and we simply keep asking, keep asking that question. Okay, so the action, again, I'll just reiterate, apologize just to, for this board, to take a look at this review, if you've got any questions, but I'd like to get, settle on the action with this, at the next meeting. Okay? Okay, from there, new business. So we've got the election of the Plan Commission board officers. And that includes the president, vice president, secretary. I currently serve as president, Karen is vice president, and Jim is secretary. And if I reviewed my notes on how we did this last year, and there's multiple different ways we can do this. People can open up the nomination for each individual seat, make a nomination. It can be seconded, discussed, and then voted on. It can be done for all 3 officers if you'd like, or a mix and match of all of the above. Okay. I can start by saying that I'd like to, open the nominations for the president of the board. Somebody can so move that. Second.
Can we do it all at the same time?
No, that's the option. You can open up and again, make a motion to open up the nomination for all 3 leadership offices. And then seconded, it'll discuss, nominations could go in and then voted on as a whole. I'm good.
I'll make a motion that the officers remain the same for the next term.
It's been moved, seconded, discussion,
How long has the officers been the way they've been?
16 years. No,
1 year.
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Has it been
2
2
years?
years?
It has
It's been 2 years.
2, I think.
It has been 2 terms,
2 years.
Just 1 year,
but like
each, two
all
years in a row. Yes,
The term is 4 years, is like when you're on the board. but
yeah.
Only, the thing only goes 1 year per, this happens every year.
Okay, so but it's
So it's just
moved,
like council.
moved
Yeah.
and
Council meetings
seconded,
every year.
moved and seconded. So great discussion point. I know that for myself, my nomination for the board has been pushed back to the commissioners. So that would be a contingency if, you guys make the decision and vote for me. If the commissioners say, no, we want to kick him off the board, that would throw the board president back into discussion. Okay?
We're still in the discussion stage, right?
Yes.
Is there anyone, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I know where I'm at. I'm not interested at all, but is there anyone that has interest in doing something different?
Okay. May I make a comment?
Yeah.
I would assume if it's all a unanimous thing, the commissioners would most likely accept that recommendation. I would
Oh,
think.
that, I wasn't talking about that. I was just curious if there was anyone else.
She's asking if I'm interested.
Like,
in
yeah.
taking the
Or
board.
Cole, or.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Well, I looked at everybody. I mean, I was just curious. I mean, I don't even know if I'll be here our appointment comes at our meeting next week. So,
Bless you. Yeah, you can, make your vote and leave the door open,
well, I don't mean, I
No,
missed this last year, so because I wasn't part of this board then. And so I am just curious.
Speak up or forever hold your peace, guys.
I'm pretty sure I have a lot to say with this, I'm just liaison.
Oh, because you're the liaison.
I'm a liaison.
But if you vote,
You could still.
I know
Then you
Purdue
could have-
Extension, didn't you guys have a rule in DeKalb where they weren't allowed to, Dave told me that. I think your predecessor, they didn't like them causing waves or something. They didn't like them being on committees.
So the way the state law works in terms of Purdue Extension, for those that don't know me, I'm Alicia Rogers.
Hi, Alicia. More, sorry, that's Alicia. I
Yeah.
worked for many years in DeKalb. Now she's up here as well, so.
Yeah, I knew Clint from 16 years ago. Can't believe it's been that long.
I know,
16 years
right?
ago. So the way Purdue Extension works in terms of being a part of the Plan Commission is it is state law, state code, that somebody represents Purdue Extension on the County Plan Commission or Parks Board. There's a couple of different options. Majority of us are on Plan Commission. A few years ago, they adjusted the law because somebody got their panties in a twist. That the extension educator themselves was supposed to sit as a voting member unless they lived outside of the county.
Right.
So that is where the board liaison came into play. So for example, I work in DeKalb but live here in Steuben. So I don't have a vote down there, but I have a board liaison down there. At this point, I am here as a representative for Extension, but if Colt would like to remain on the board as the voting liaison, I'm perfectly fine with that. So,
Yeah, so that would mean that he could, as a voting member, you can serve as an officer to the board. So yeah.
Because I know with council, there's different ones. There's certain ones where you are a voting member of whatever you're a liaison to, and there's others where they politely, listen to you, but you don't get a vote.
That's my role on the city.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
the
just,
difference between a proxy and a liaison.
no,
Well, there's a difference.
You know what, I won't get into that.
Yeah,
Strike
that's
that part.
a little different. But again, like I said, I don't mind, sharing, other people want to see how, I've worked with the staff and, the different things that I've been involved with in the 2 years. I don't mind, showing people how that works in case you ever want to take over. We've got a nice process. I really am happy with the process.
and I wasn't trying to rock the boat.
Oh, no.
But I just remember my first year and it was just like, boom, everything happened around. And I was like,
Yeah.
let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, like I said, I enjoy it, but I think not anybody, but most anybody could do this. Okay. Any other discussion? I guess I just, for me, and for the record, I'll call for a roll call, on.
Do we need a second? Got a second?
No, and I can call for that type of vote, because again, you can do a secret ballot, you can do a voice vote, or you can do just a unanimous consent. Just so that we can send that back to the commissioners, I think is how we decided last year. So, those in favor of unanimous consent for all three remaining the same, Clint, will you do roll call, read the roll call for that? Just say approve or disapprove.
That's what they say, or that's what I say?
They say. Okay, good.
I was gonna say Austin
And
Boudreaux.
this is just about whether or not we do it as unanimous.
No, just to do
No,
all
just
three of
to
them
see
together.
that we're all
Yeah,
three
you can vote
going
on
to
it
be
as
the
well.
same that we were last year.
Yeah,
There's
because
the fourth.
the motion was made to keep them all together. Yeah, so
Yes,
if
approved.
if somebody.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
Jake Bryant. Approve. Colt Ridenhour. Approve. Jim Sladeball.
Approve.
Where's Christina's name? Oh, there you are, Christina. Christina Kretz. I couldn't find you. And Jeff Rhodes.
Approve.
That unanimous of what you got here.
Good, okay. So, thank you again, everybody. Appreciate the confidence you got, and, we'll set the plan, because now we've got the plan,
Got the schedule.
the schedule for the next year.
Well, if I may too, Jeff, you say anybody can do this. I haven't been here long, but I will say I appreciate the professionalism and the organization that you bring as the chairman, as the president to this. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, and I enjoyed it, so thank you. Okay, last thing for new business is the approval of the 2026 Plan Commission meeting schedule. Everybody's got a copy of it?
I have a question.
Good deal, go with it.
So obviously the one July 8th is highlighted. It's not the first Wednesday of the month, which would be the first. Why is that one the 8th?
Because the fourth is what, Monday or Tuesday or
The
Wednesday?
fourth is on a Saturday.
Wednesday after the 4th of July.
But why
So why
why
wouldn't
couldn't
you
we
do
do
it
it
on
on
the
the first?
You can.
Okay.
This is just like a recommendation. If you voted that way to make an amendment to put it back on the whatever day it was.
Yeah, the only reason why it's highlighted is because you specifically
It was a
asked me to.
change.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And why did we ask to change it?
Meetings the week of a holiday usually kind of suck. Let's just say that.
Nobody will be there.
Yeah, so people might not be
I
there.
told Jeff a story. My first year at DeKalb was before Alicia got there. The fair is a big deal at DeKalb County.
Oh my
I tried
goodness.
scheduling a meeting the week of the fair at the courthouse.
Okay, but what did we add at first? And I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just saying. No, but my head is always messed up, like, if I can remember the first Wednesday, I'll be there, but now you know what I'm saying, so.
You're gonna mess up his schedule is all I'm saying.
No, I-
No, that's fine. Your mind to the commissioner meeting tomorrow?
To Tuesdays.
it took a little bit, yes. That's okay, I don't like change, I told you, I'm stuck in the nineties, I told you that, so, okay, that's fine, it was just a question, I will comply.
Well, but I don't think, I don't see why it needs to be changed if the 4th is on a Saturday. It's not gonna really matter.
Well, the county will be closed, right,
One way or the
on
other,
Friday, and so it's a short week. Because they'll still give the holiday.
Yeah, but if we
Correct.
get it out of the way before the holiday.
You know what, I can just make a motion on that, and if it falls flat, it falls flat, can I not? I would personally like to make a motion, leave it July 1st.
I'll second that.
Okay, so that's amending the schedule.
Just, you're walking home.
And let me, you can restate your motion to approve with, an amendment, and then you can second that would put the July 8th back to July 1st. And again, I don't care either way. I thought, and again, I can't discuss that. Okay, that's how the motion should be.
And if it falls, it falls, I'm not hurt by anyone.
Okay, so
So we're
Jim,
in the discussion.
yeah, Jim so moved based on that, my rewording of your.
Thank
You
you.
And I
seconded.
seconded the two of
Okay.
you. That is, my decision is based on what is the best for the two of you.
Ooh,
The reason why we did scoot them is because they were saying, we typically will be short-staffed on holiday weeks, or it'll be busier because of the day off, either anticipation of that Friday off, or normally it's like a Monday with holidays, like a Memorial Day or Labor Day.
That's why the commissioners moved from
Yeah,
Monday.
so it's like with that anticipation or call over with the next day with like a Tuesday or something like that. We usually, if there's a holiday that week, we just bumped it to the.
And my concern is usually more
But
along
it's-
the lines of petitioner, because they're like, we're going away on vacation, and we get yelled at for some reason when they're the one that petitioned to be on the docket, but
I just wanted a picture of how it would affect you.
which is a great, and I appreciate that as well. But you're right, I think the reason we're probably having the discussion is because the 4th is on Saturday, and this is, these days are equal distance from Saturday either way, so.
Yeah.
Right?
Except I believe, I don't have the county, I believe the county will be closed on Friday.
We will be, yes.
So it does make it, even though the county's still giving that holiday day, so it's still a short week.
So the 3rd is
Yes.
closed, okay.
The 3rd will be closed.
I mean, I still think we're far enough away, so I don't think that doesn't seem like what caused some of the consternation with this 2 years ago,
Yeah.
right?
No, I think just clarifying what.
Just so you know, the 15th of July is a Wednesday, so you'll want to make it to the
I think
13th.
this is that old copy that I sent you guys. I printed those off today. And remember how I sent a couple there was an edit that I made after that I
But
sent
it
you
does
guys,
say
and
July
it got that
13th.
changed,
Okay,
yes.
I was just looking at the calendar and I was
And
like.
I just realized
this
that
one
too.
says the
Yes.
15th,
Yeah.
it's a Wednesday,
Okay, so
so that's why.
okay, so let's further amend your motion to include, not only the July 1st date, but also July 13th date,
Perfect.
okay? So do you agree with that amendment? Okay,
Sure.
so we're still in discussion on the motion. And then the other highlights is same situation, the change September 14th and October 19th?
That's because of the holiday
is-
being on a Monday, so that's
Okay.
why he referred it
Yeah.
to the next week as a Monday.
Those are the
Okay.
real reasons. And
Those
okay.
are those two, September and October's is because it's a holiday on the actual BCA
Okay.
meeting.
And that way,
And then
with
it's
those,
the
the reason
week
why I didn't even try to just move them is because if you move the plan commission, that is during the holiday week. So at one point you're getting burnt, so you might as well just move the BCA
Yep.
like the bylaw says.
Okay, good. So everybody's clear on the restatement and the amendment to the motion. Any more discussion?
I think that this is gonna be horrible, but I think the 2 days should be, the motion should be split on whether or not we're changing the 8th. I mean, the 13th is a no-brainer, right? It's just the wrong date.
Right.
So I believe.
Oh, does the Board of Zoning Appeals vote on their own schedule anyway?
Yes.
So that would be.
I guess that would be that.
Right, the 13th, we don't really have to do
Okay.
because the BZA does their own voting. I just wanted to say, Charlie, that
Okay, so let me ask Jim to amend his motion again and to negate what I said about the 15th, to change it to the 13th, okay? You guys are in charge of that. That'll publish your.
correct.
So and you're back, so we're back to his amendment being to change July 8th to the 1st, and then that's it.
Correct.
Okay, any more discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes. You can call for a roll call because of that.
Yeah, because I don't know.
I don't know what went on.
Yeah, I don't even.
Austin Boudreaux.
Nay,
So you want it to be the 8th?
Karen.
for two personal reasons, yes.
Okay.
I would like it the 1st, so yay.
Jake.
Charlie, what do you want?
I don't care either way.
Yeah, you can't really ask, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
8th.
So his is nay.
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 Cole.
Nay.
Christina.
Nay.
I already heard that one, so.
Yeah, that was the only one I heard.
Jim
Yay.
and Jeff.
I'm gonna abstain because it's gonna fail. So,
I won't be here.
A nay makes it 5.
On the 8th.
It's 4-2 right now.
42 right now. Nay, it passed. He goes back to what we gave you earlier.
On the 8th.
The vote's 4-2 right now. So you have. So yeah, so you'd be the 5th, you'd be a 5 or a 3. Right?
So he can abstain and then it just passes by the fact that it's
Even though
It
it's
stays
4-3.
the 8th.
not, yeah, because it's not even.
It still passes.
it still passes.
A lot more.
It still passes as the.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't, yeah, I didn't have to vote.
Yeah.
4, 2, and 1
Yeah, okay,
is
so.
for the vote.
The motion fails, it's gonna stay the 8th.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm just gonna write stays the 8th on the paper and hope somebody else.
It's okay.
That gets a little confusing, just, amending, and that's why I apologize, I made that more complicated, but we appreciate that you tried to understand the first and then it failed, okay? Okay?
The important thing is Jim failed.
Don't take it as a.
All the time.
Don't take it as a failure. I don't wanna change this.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Your personal reasons.
Yeah, don't take it personally, it's all good. Okay, so any announcements for the board, good of the board? Anything that we need to just make as far as an announcement? Happy New Year, that's a good one. You mentioned it just, because again, I don't know how public it is. My thoughts and prayers to Ken Shelton and what he's going through.
He got a clean bill of health.
No, that's wonderful. Okay, any other announcements? Okay, on to a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Those, any discussion? Those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Karen,
Just so
Christina.
you know, for the record, Glenn, I'm not coming the 8th.
So, can we get a clean copy sent out to everybody then?
Yes,
Okay.
it won't be highlighted either.
Okay.
You ride with you. I'm not coming.
I will be gone on the 20th if it's on the board. I'm assuming I will because I don't want to give up my position and I'm right, but we'll see.
Do they make donations like that,
We discuss it like I did when I said who wants, and then we have a discussion, but then
Go ahead.
last year it didn't come to an actual vote because Dan said, well, we really approved Mr. Cruz, so one today.